Doctors will push you to go on birth control. Like, they will make you feel as a teenager like you are being wildly irresponsible if you're not going on birth control. It's like, why is it just for women? Doesn't it seem like it would be a lot easier to just stop the sperm from coming out than to have our bodies be in a state of fake pregnancy constantly for our entire lives?
All men listen to. It's these like drill sergeant type people telling you like, oh, if you're not getting up at 6 and running for, 5 miles, and what are you doing with your life? Like, that's you, bro. Like, you do that. You don't need your woman to do that.
I know.
And not all men need to do that. If it's a personal thing for you, it's a personal thing for you. Stop berating other people for not doing that.
Welcome back to New Society Podcast. Society is fucked, as you know. We are working on it. One TikTok at a time, apparently.
TikTok, one short at a time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those TikToks have been going absolutely nutso.
Viral.
I'm pretty surprised. That one has 3 million and climbing.
Yeah.
And 30,000 followers seemingly overnight.
People like when you talk.
I guess. I mean, people like, when we discuss things that are relatable.
Mm-hmm.
That one that went really far was, I didn't really know how many other women felt guilty about being sleepy. Like, I guess I kind of knew, but like the amount of women, it actually like completely overturned our following base to women now, like almost single-handedly because of that.
Yeah.
Which is amazing because it's a lot less angry men yelling about every single thing that I say.
Yeah. I didn't realize how many people would talk to you about that or, relate to you about that, especially to that level.
Yeah.
Where they're like, holy shit, you just explained.
Mm-hmm. Like the biggest problem.
Yeah, the biggest problem in my marriage and all this stuff. And I just honestly didn't know that there was a bunch of dudes just being assholes.
Yeah. And
yelling at their girls for sleeping in.
Mm-hmm.
Insane.
So many of them. There's like hundreds of thousands of, agreements with it, and people saying, yeah, my ex, or it's usually their ex, because they really
can't live
weren't
with somebody
having
like
it.
that.
Yeah, it's too much. But then, so the whole point of the video was to say that women are feeling a lot of guilt for not having the same timetable as a man and being more tired because of, our hormonal cycles. And still so many men, not so many less than usual, but some men still had the audacity to come on there and say, oh, well, this is bullshit. And, oh, you're just lazy. Some guy said excuses. Like, this is exactly what I was talking about. And then the one guy was like, oh, can I see studies on this? This had already had 1 million something views on it, at least 1,000 women agreeing. And he still says,
well, way more than 1,000 women agreeing. Many more.
Yeah. But even if it was 1,000, that would be a pretty good research study.
Oh, that would be a big research study.
That's a pretty good sample
Check
size.
The box. Mm-hmm.
And he's saying to me, oh, can I see research that shows that women are sleepy? For one, like what research is being done on that? It's blaringly obvious, but this is exactly the point. And I said to him, like, okay, take a look at all the women that are agreeing with this. This is the whole point, is that you're not listening to us. You need a research study. Like, your woman says, I'm tired, and it's like, show me the research. This is exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. And it's like, why do you care so much?
Yeah.
That's what I can't
that's what I don't understand either.
Around. I don't understand why you would. Some of the women were saying, oh, he berates me for not waking up when he does like 7 a.m., 8 a.m. or something like that. And it's like, why do you care? Yeah. Like, are you guys, going for a jog? I don't understand where and
that's what a lot of them were saying, because I even had a lot of friends DMing me about it, saying, oh my God, this is so true. This has happened to me all the time. And then they would say they didn't even have anything for me to do. Yeah. They just wanted attention. Right. It was insane.
That's ridiculous. I don't know where that comes from.
I think it's just like they feel like they have to take on all the responsibility or something.
I think maybe, you know, and I talk about this sometimes, it's just that all the videos telling you need to get up early and do all this stuff, which is all men listen to. It's these like drill sergeant type people telling you like, oh, if you're not getting up at 6 and running for, 5 miles, then what are you doing with your life?
Yeah.
Like, that's you, bro. Like, you do that. You don't need your woman to do that.
I know.
And not all men need to do that.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like they take that and they try to create this ideal of like, oh, if other people aren't doing this, they're weak to make themselves look better. Like, if it's a personal thing for you, it's a personal thing for you. Just go do that. Stop berating other people for not doing that.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess they just need tons of attention at all times.
I know. It's ridiculous.
So a lot of girls were saying like, oh, this needs to be talked about more. And some women were saying, oh, and I thought it was so poetic, but it's actually like kind of true if you think about it. Men are ruled by the sun and women are ruled by the moon. And I was like, oh, what do you mean? And she's explaining it. I'm like, oh, right. Okay. Because the way a man's energy level works is every morning you get a hit of testosterone and cortisol. So it gives you like mental clarity and energy for the day. And then in the afternoon, it starts to fade away. And then you just want to either relax or socialize. But women, once a month, get that testosterone boost when we're ovulating. That's all we get. So we get to feel the way that you guys feel one time. Like a few days out of the month, we feel that. So if you think about it, it's like the sun rises and sets every day, but the moon is constantly changing. Like it's not full except for one very brief period of time throughout the month. So it's like, oh, women are,
So you're active once in a blue moon.
Not once in a blue moon.
I'm joking.
Once in a full moon.
I'm joking. Once in a full moon.
Yeah, but it's not fair because all of these, the workday is completely based on a man's energy levels.
Yeah. And I think maybe it even goes further than that, because that study I was telling you about with the sunspots, sun explosions every 11 years. So, they found out that men's blood pressure rises, but not women's.
Interesting.
So it's like a direct correlation, like that men's, every 11 years, these sun explosions happen and the blood pressure of just men go up.
Yeah.
And it's measured. It's kind of crazy.
That's crazy.
So maybe there's something more than just a 24-hour day. Something more.
I'm gonna have to look into that. Yeah, because like women's cycles a lot of times will sync up with either the full moon or the new moon. It's like you have like a red cycle or something. I don't know. It like means something about yourself. It's almost like a period astrology. I don't know.
We should learn some period astrology.
Yeah, I want to learn about it. I want to know what period sign I have.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm down. I'll get the app.
Speaking of hormones, though, I was looking a little bit into birth control because I find it so strange that so many women are on birth control. When I was 14, my doctor put me on it. 14. Like, yeah, I had just gotten my period. Like, what are you doing? Like, already giving me synthetic hormones. And I looked at the side effects on my own, and it was like blood clots, heart disease, stroke, death, mood swings. And then at one point...
It's always death.
It's always death. Side effects may include death. No problem.
Try it.
So then I started noticing that I think they put me on like a once a week or something like that. And every time after I took it, I would have a complete emotional breakdown. And my boyfriend at the time was like, does this have anything to do with your birth control? And I was like, and like at 19 years old, I had to be smarter than my doctor and be like, listen, I can use condoms. It'll be all right. I don't need to like take synthetic hormones and never feel my body's true cycle and be on something that's like a major medication, and it also causes liver damage. So a lot of girls are starting to take this at 14, and then you're taking it until what? You're 50? It's insane. And it causes like insane mood swings, like skin problems, weight problems, just like the emotional problems, even just that. It's absolutely crazy. So one of the funny things is that it's like, why is it just for women? Like, doesn't it seem like it would be a lot easier to just stop the sperm from coming out than to have our bodies be in a state of fake pregnancy constantly for our entire lives? So I did some looking into it, and they actually came out with this male birth control, and it's hormone based. So they were like, oh, well, it causes problems such as high cholesterol and emotional instability and weight gain. So we didn't feel that it was safe. Wow. So all of the things that they do to women, oh, it's okay to do it to us. But if it like causes the same exact problems for men, then they're like, we're going to find a better solution. And you know what? I found out there's actually this thing called Vaz gel.
Okay. And
they inject it into the scrotum. So it's like a reversible vasectomy where it's kind of like stopping the sperm flow. What?
No, it sounds horrifying.
Are you going to faint?
But, I mean, I've had a vasectomy. So.
Yeah. And so how was your vasectomy?
It's the best thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
Vasectomy is totally fine. And the crazy part about the vasectomy, as you know, is the amount of doctors I had to go through to convince me not to get the vasectomy.
Right. Isn't that insane?
It's like, relax. It was literally like, oh, I'll give you a clean bill. My heart doctor is like, I'll give you permission, but can you wait like a week or so till you decide? It's like, bro, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
I'm not a 16-year-old. It's crazy. It's almost like looked down upon. Mm-hmm. But that's probably has something to do with like people just like feeling some way about kids.
Yeah, they feel like, oh, you need to have kids. But meanwhile, doctors will push you to go on birth control. Like they will make you feel as a teenager like you are being wildly irresponsible if you're not going on birth control. Mm-hmm. It's so messed up. And they prescribe it for everything. Oh, your period's out of whack? Birth control. No, like your period is affected by so many things, like stress especially, and your diet, but they never go for that. They never say, hey, heal your body. They're just like, take synthetic hormones and give yourself even more problems.
Yeah.
And then the what is so horrifying to me is that the leading cause of death for women is heart disease. Like that is the number one thing that is going to kill most women. And what does birth control do? Increase your risk of heart disease. So I wonder, is that leading cause because of women being on birth control? And even if it's not because of women being on birth control, it's obviously going to exacerbate the problem. Yeah,
I think so. I mean, I don't think any kind of drugs should be forced, especially things that alter your body in that way. I mean, you told me from the jump, like my ex was on birth control since she was 13 or something. And did I tell you this? She never got her period. Like, she never gets her period. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that was a thing.
You don't have to. Like, medically, they say you don't have to get your period. It was like the Pope or something. It was something crazy that I'm telling you. Yeah. It was like a religious thing that they were like, oh, no, you have to like have your period.
But it's a bodily function. It's a natural function.
You don't have to have it. I think it's a little disgusting not to, because your body is cleaning itself.
Yeah, that's what I always thought. I thought that was...
Well, it's not just that it's cleaning itself, but it's like shedding it builds up the uterine lining to host a baby. And then if you don't have one, it sheds the lining and then it rebuilds it. But yeah, there's some women that just literally never get their period.
Wow.
There's even, so I've been seeing something going around lately that's girls are getting IUDs. I feel like Louis C.K. made this joke about it's like not an IED or whatever, not like an explosive. But they sound alike. Yeah. So I don't know if I'm saying it right, but I think it's the IUD.
I remember there's so many comedians making IUD jokes lately.
Really?
Like the last place we went to, it was like every single comedian made an IUD joke.
I remember that.
It was ridiculous.
What did they say?
I don't remember it because they were so bad.
So, do you know what it is?
This is the thing you put up here, right?
Well, the doctor does it.
Oh, okay.
So they place it like in your uterus, and it prevents pregnancy, and it's like a hormonal thing. But a lot of girls are getting it, and the doctors are placing it in a way that it's like inducing fake pregnancy. So the girls are going into labor in the office. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So
No,
the
like,
symptoms of labor.
it's the symptoms of labor. Like they're like their body thinks that they're pushing out a baby. And many girls are experiencing this. But so many of them are just like, oh yeah, it's normal, just get my
So what's
IUD.
the solution here?
Men should get
Vasectomy?
vasectomy. But it doesn't just have to be the vasectomy. They can get, well, men could be taking this birth control pill that supposedly
Apparently
messes them up.
exists, yeah.
And to be honest, it lowers testosterone. And testosterone is a big problem.
Wow.
Unless you want energy throughout the day.
Well, you can't just take things that lower your testosterone.
Oh no, but they combat it with other drugs that like increase energy and sex drive.
Okay. See, now this is like now you're just playing with chemicals.
I know,
feel
but
like
this is exactly
just
what
get a
they're doing
vasectomy.
with women.
Vasectomy.
I'm not saying that
You think
men should
just
take
do
these
that?
hormone replacement, hormone suppressing drugs. I don't think it's good. I mean, I think some men could stand to have a little testosterone considering it's responsible for violence, but they should be doing the one that you just inject a little thing and it stops the sperm from coming out.
Yeah, if that exists, I mean, I've never heard of it. But
Yeah.
I'm not doubting.
You know, I had heard the word, but I didn't know what it was. But it makes so
Well,
much sense.
vasogel is a terrible thing to call it because, like, when you get a vasectomy, you're snipping the vas deferens or
yeah.
something, which always freaked me out.
Yeah.
Until I did it, and then I was like, all right.
Well, you weren't awake for it.
Yeah, you can't be awake for it. That's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Some people are though.
I know. Good. All power to them.
Yeah.
They get up at 6 o'clock. They stay awake for their vasectomy. So it's not me.
But no, it's a really good solution. But the fact that nobody even knows about it, it's almost like men that are creating this stuff don't want it to be the norm because that means they're going to have to go out and get a needle in their balls.
Yeah. I mean, there's like so much going on. I don't think that's going to change. I think it's going to go backwards, in my opinion, with all this rhetoric that's being pushed, like with all the red pills. So I don't want to get into it too much.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's like that's frowned upon now.
What is birth control?
Like, you're supposed to have kids and you're supposed to, like all of that. Well, frowned upon in that community. It's like, no, your woman should have kids and blah, blah, blah.
I swear they're just turning into the Handmaid's Tale.
It's going backwards. It's going so backwards.
Yeah.
Like, and it's all in this guise of like, oh, a woman should be pure and a virgin and blah, 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 like we talked about before. It's all the same weird shit. I mean, you still see it in the comments.
Oh, yeah.
And now, thankfully, you have like this army of women.
Oh, yes.
And
thank you, army of women. I fucking love you guys.
That are in the TikTok comments. And not on YouTube, though. On YouTube Shorts, all angry men.
Yeah.
Still.
Ladies, if you're listening, get into the YouTube comments.
Yeah, we need to
give
like
us the
shift
female demographic because these angry men are increasing my blood pressure.
And some of these shorts are going to be on YouTube, and there's going to be a bunch of angry men just like, but I think that now that you have all these like women that are supporting you, it's like they see it too because they see the comments from those men, and one woman goes like, "Oh, thank you for your service. We needed at least one incel in here," like it's just like, and they're just like ripping on them because it's like they can't help themselves, but like
they can't stop.
Make these fucking weird comments.
Mm-hmm.
It's nuts. And there's like, people post, even men that we know like post this shit.
Yes.
And it's like,
it makes me question the friendship sometimes.
I really hope you don't believe this. I hope you're posting this ironically.
Ironically, I don't think
sarcastically. I don't think so either. But
so you don't think men will ever be taking
no, I think they're gonna do everything to not do that. Yeah, 100%.
I guess you'd still have to then rely on the man to have actually done it.
That's another thing.
Which would be really scary.
That's another
like,
thing.
I don't know that I would ever trust a guy. Although, like, you should be using condoms anyway if you're not trusting someone or don't know someone that well.
Especially in America. America's going backwards right now with all this stuff. Like, all this conservative stuff that's being pushed. They're like, you know, trying to track women's periods and all this. You know.
Oh, like in school or something? In schools.
Like, this weird stuff is going on. Like,
if they want to be so aware of our periods, then give every girl a week off of school during their period.
Oh, that's interesting.
Right? You want to be so concerned about the differences between men
listen,
and
if I was bleeding for a week, I don't want to be off fucking school.
Exactly. It's not nice. It's not a nice experience. You know, they have, in other cultures, they like, you know, let the women go off into areas with each other to like menstruate. Although some countries, it's a really bad thing, and it's actually just becoming illegal because women are dying. They call it like menstruation or menstrual huts, and they just put women in these dirty little huts behind the houses for the entire time that they're bleeding, and they put like rocks around, like there's like this area where there's like unclean blood, and they think that the reason that it's dirty and impure is because it's a sign of not bearing a child. So it's like the blood of not being fertile.
Yeah.
So like kind of some, once again, creepy handmade stuff. But that's in like, you know, kind of third world countries. But yeah, these women are like dying because of being exposed to the elements and like getting snake bites, and because of the unsanitary nature of it.
Yeah. I mean, listen, it's like I said, there's that, but there's also in America, like one of my friends, he went to his rabbi, was like an Orthodox rabbi. And he's not like really Orthodox, but he was basically convinced enough that that he shouldn't be using condoms.
Wow.
And that sex is just for procreation, and what God wants to happen should happen. And he ends up having 2 more kids, and they live in a 2-bedroom. And so they have 4 kids.
Yeah.
Because of this.
Yeah.
Like, it's just because of this. And it's like, you know, I don't know. People just have to.
Have they heard of pulling out, or that's not?
No, that's the thing. It's wrong to do that.
It's wrong. It's a sin to pull out.
This is what he was telling me. This is what they were saying. It's like God's a perv. It's your seed, you know. It's interesting. Like, God only had 1 son. You know, maybe he believed in birth control.
Maybe God pulled out.
Yeah, maybe God was just one time impregnated one, and just it's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
This is sacrilegious. My mom would kill me if I was.
Yeah. I was gonna say we are getting deep into it right now.
Let's not get too deep. Sorry, God.
So anyway, when I was looking into some of this stuff about, you know, the difference between men and women's hormones and everything, it got me thinking about toxic relationships. And then I was like, you know, I'm so curious. Like, what are some of the statistics about spousal abuse, like abuse in relationships? And this was from like government website. It's really outrageous. So apparently 1 in every 4 women is assaulted by their partner.
That's crazy. 1
in every 4, which makes sense because I have like 3 friends, and me and one of them have been assaulted. An estimated 1.3 million women are victims of physical assault by an intimate partner every year. That's like COVID numbers.
No, that's crazy.
Like 1.3 million. And I get it. So, I mean, one of the reasons that I even thought to look it up is because, like, you know, I was in an abusive relationship, and it just happened so slow, but then so fast. And I would never have thought that I was the type of person to be like, I thought it was just women that were like timid and, you know, maybe naive or something like that. Not in a mean way. I really had no idea that someone who felt like they were emotionally strong and would stick up for themselves and had a lot of self-respect could end up in a relationship where they're literally being physically abused and gaslit and all this stuff. Like, because gaslighting is insane. Like literally hitting you and then telling you that didn't happen. Like, I don't know how they're able to do it, because I literally was questioning, like the first time it happened, I'm like, maybe I imagined that. Like maybe that's not, I think because like emotions are so high in the moment that you think that maybe you exaggerated it in your head. And it wasn't until it like kept happening that I was like, no, like that was gaslighting. And this was kind of before like that term was popular. And then once that came out, I was like, yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah, because you want to believe. You want to believe.
Yeah, you don't want to think that the person that you love just hit you in the face. You don't want to think that.
Yeah.
So they're able to convince you that you're crazy because, you know, breakups are hard enough as it is. So it's like to then have it like, oh, things are fine. And then all of a sudden there's this abuse and it's just so not congruent to everything else that's going on. It's just so hard to get, it was so hard to get out of the relationship, which is insane. You would think like, oh, someone is abusive to you, you just leave. For some reason, it's so much harder than that. I think because they usually make you feel so bad. Like my ex used to just sit in my house and tell me that if he left, he was going to kill himself. So it's like, and just would cry.
Yeah, I've heard stories like this from many people.
Yeah, it's insane. So yeah, I was looking at more of the statistics.
It's manipulation tactics.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
This goes into rape, which is terrible, but 1 in 5 women.
Wow.
Like, are you kidding me? 1 in 5? That's one of like the most likely things that can happen to a person at this point. And again, it makes sense, you know?
Yeah.
One of my 3 friends has been raped.
I think, yeah, I mean, it's messed up. It's messed up. There was a video recently that I saw, which was like horrifying to watch. It was this girl. She was, she's all right. She was working out at this gym. She was like by herself. It was like a private gym. And some dude just like knocks on the door to like, and there's, you know, full cameras in the gym, you know, you see the whole thing on tape. It was on the news. And the guy like knocks on the door, like, let me come in and work. You know, he looked like he was going to come out and work. As soon as he comes in, you're just going after her. Like literally just trying to rape her. And she's like, it was able to just like fight him off and like, you know, run out the door.
Yeah.
But it was like ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's like people are, I don't know. It's just like, they're so brazen. It's so fucking
I know.
crazy.
It's just like, and from what I've read about it, is it's testosterone. It's like this huge high buildup of testosterone that's not being let out in other outlets.
I don't even want to give them that excuse. Like I have high levels of testosterone. I'm not fucking acting like that. Like I feel like even saying
obviously
that
there's
is
some
just
psychosis going along with it.
I think it's a devaluing of women, because it's like, to do that, you know, you must like hate this person. You know what I mean? You must hate women to be able to do that, to even look at a woman like that and be like, oh, I'm gonna take advantage of this person.
Yeah.
Like there has to be something in you that does not love, you know, people. And that's why it's so dangerous. Like all this rhetoric that's going around where it's like very hateful to women.
Exactly. This is what I mean. Like when I read these comments, it's scary to me because it, you know, if 1 in 5 women are getting raped and 1 in 4 women are being assaulted, you know, what's the first step?
It's crazy. It's crazy. And it's also like, you know, they refer to women as hoes if they have like more than one sexual partner or whatever. And it's like, oh yeah, you know, she shouldn't have a high body count or whatever. But it's like, when you're saying that, when you're like, oh, all these hoes, right? There's comments where they're referring to you as a hoe, which is just like saying it because what, you wear fucking makeup or you like your lips are big. This is literally the rhetoric. But it's like when you're attributing that word to women like that, there's no appreciation or love for another person. So it's like, if you think all women that aren't virgins are just hoes, then would you, like, you're just not going to feel the same, you know, you might be way more inclined to take advantage of a situation and be sexually aggressive with a woman, you know. And people are like, oh, we're admonishing men about it, but it's like, listen, men need to realize that this shit is going on. Like, it's not like, it's not crazy. Like, this shit is happening, you know, happening. And it's happening, and people are talking that way, and people need to stop talking that way. And yes, it's not all men, but it's enough that it's fucking vocal about it. Yeah. So you should be talking against it if you love women.
Yeah. You know, it's kind of like setting an example. When that's the rhetoric, then people are thinking that that's what it is. And then, like, one of the statistics I saw was saying, like, a male who has witnessed their, like, abuse in their parents' relationship is like twice as likely to be abusive, you know, things like that, because people are emulating all the time.
Yeah.
72% of all murder suicides involve an intimate partner. 94% of the victims are female. But then most cases of domestic violence are never reported to the police. So you have these 1 in 4 women who have been abused, but then most of the cases aren't being reported. Like, I didn't report, like, when someone, like, witnessed me getting hit in a parking lot, and someone called the cops, and they pulled me over, and they begged me to file a police report. But the best thing that you can do in that situation, which is so shitty, is get a restraining order. But another one of the statistics is, it was like 90% or something, or 70% of restraining orders are violated. You know, the restraining order isn't really going to do anything to me except make the other person angry.
Yeah. No, it's messed up. It's really messed up.
Oh, and also $2.2 million worth of medical expenses are caused annually. So something about 37 billion. I don't know. There's, like, basically billions of dollars a year is spent on medical expenses treating people who have been abused by their partners.
Wow.
Like, and that's, you know, sometimes that's like our, you know, health insurance money. That's where it's going. Billions of dollars of battered women.
Yeah, and the numbers went up during COVID.
Oh, this was horrifying. Between 2002 and 2008, 142 women were murdered in their workplace by their abuser. 78% of women killed in the workplace during this time frame. I don't know. Like, basically the abuser would, like, come to the workplace.
I see.
Which has happened to me. Like, I was at work one time, like, months after my ex and I had broke up, and I, like, fled the scene, and my coworker comes to me and says, oh, there's someone left you flowers. And I'm like, oh, great. You know, it's my birthday. Cute. And I look at the card, and it was from him. And I had done my best to stay off the grid. So I don't even know how he found me, but I had thankfully left work early that day, but I don't know what would have happened. Like, it's horrifying. To this day, like, I don't even want to, like, talk about it. It's like, somewhere. But, like, it's scary.
Yeah.
It's scary, but, you know, this is the situation. This is why it's like, I'm trying to, like, help people, like, you know, make peace in relationships, even just to, like, keep yourself out of harm's way, just to get yourself out of a relationship.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Yeah, it's scary. And I think men need to also stand up for it in a way and not be talking all this weird shit.
Yeah, they don't understand how much they're adding to the problem.
It's hurting. There's this whole, like, thing where people will say, like, you know, like the statistics you were talking about, like the assaults, and they will be like, oh, well, you know, and I am just giving you quotes of what the argument is. If you had, $1,000 in your pocket, would you be walking around alone at night?
Oh yeah, I've heard these.
And it's like, would you? Well, I wouldn't let my, like,
What is your point?
What is your fucking point?
So your point is that men are sick?
Yeah, men are so sick that you should be chaperoned everywhere. And they'll be like, oh, well, you wouldn't go to a dangerous neighborhood even if you're a man, you know, so you wouldn't walk around, you know, at night alone without a man. It's like, yo, what is this? Like, they're literally talking Handmaid's Tale shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, we should be looking at it like,
men shouldn't be raping
men
women.
shouldn't be fucking assaulting women.
Yeah.
And we should be speaking out against men assaulting women, not women taking a stroll at night, as you should be able to do, no matter what. And you know, another thing about it is like, they have this impression that, you know, women only get like hit on, followed, assaulted, whatever, because of what they're wearing. But women get hit on when they're wearing fucking sweats and nothing. It's constant. It's
like I can walk down the street, like I will look like the bummiest human being on the planet on purpose, because I know that men are already treating you like you're asking for it a lot of times. Sometimes they're honestly nice and they'll give you a nice compliment, and that's not that bad. You know, I was walking down the street after I got my hair done that time, and the guy was like, damn, your hair looks great. That's just like nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Made me laugh. It's like, oh, thank you. I just got my hair done. But then there's like people that make you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And like even at the gym, like I don't know how some girls like wear such tight stuff. To me, I feel so exposed. Like I'm wearing like as unflattering of clothes as possible because I just feel so observed, you know?
Yeah.
And like a lot of men will just align themselves to be right next to you at the gym. And it's like,
yeah, and there's like, and this is like you know, it's a trend in both directions where it's like women are recording this.
Yes.
And then men are saying, oh, well, he was just like working out next to her. And it's like, bro, honestly, if you like really actually fucking looked at these videos, like these dudes are fucking creeping. Like it's clear as day. Like they'll just be like doing, you know, like working out next to them, but just like looking over every second or whatever. And then they'll come over and be like, oh, you need help with that or whatever. And there's like men breaking down the video saying, oh no, he was just working out next to her and then he was being nice. Like, look at the fucking context clues.
Yeah.
That's not what's happening. You're seeing an attractive girl and you're trying to look for a fucking opening.
Yeah.
Especially at the gym, which is like the worst fucking place you should ever approach a girl.
I mean,
when
and
she's
it's
like
fine.
sweating.
There's probably some girls that like would like to meet. I know like some girls will go to gyms where it's like a high-end gym and they're hoping to maybe meet someone that has.
Really?
Yeah, this
you
is like
no,
I don't know girls that do this, but I know this is like a tactic that's been like talked about.
Oh.
So I understand that, but it's just like, it's not about when a man approaches you so much as, because at least at that point you can, I don't know, it's still really uncomfortable.
It's still bad. I feel like you shouldn't be approaching anyone at the gym. I think that's weird. I think you could do it anywhere else. You do it on, you know, even on the street, say hi, whatever. I don't even care.
You know, it's like if you want to make eye contact and smile and see what how the other person reacts. But if you're just like, they just get close to you a lot of times.
This is what I'm saying. Like, and you're coming to the gym to work out. That's another thing. Like, work out. You know, and I've been to the gym with dudes where it's just like they barely work out. They're just looking at girls, and it's like, what are you fucking doing here? Yeah. You know, it's like, just work out, get your shit done and go. Like, this is better. There's different places to do what you're trying to do here. You know, and I don't think it's so far-fetched to think that these girls recording these men is like, no, they're making you fucking uncomfortable. That's it, you know? Some of them go too far, but most of the time. There was one where the girl recorded the guy and the guy literally he doesn't know he's being recorded because she's just recording her workout. Yeah. And he comes up to her and says like, hey, like, I just want to say you're beautiful. And like, I just want to be like super upfront. Like, I have a wife, but like, you know, if you're like down for it or whatever, swear to God, just straight up, I'll show you the video. It's fucking wild. And he got like exposed. He's on camera. And, it's like a fucking local gem. Like, probably local.
Stop.
But yeah, straight up. Just straight up. Like, I have a wife, but if you're down, like, crazy. She literally goes like, bro,
I'm recording you.
what are you talking about? No, she didn't tell him. She didn't tell him.
She just put it out?
She put it out. It's out.
That is one of the most embarrassing things I've ever heard.
Yeah. Anyways, society's fucked.
Yeah, society. We're working on it.
Yeah.
But anyway, if you guys are watching on YouTube or TikTok.
Or listening.
Well, no, if you're listening, then go on YouTube and TikTok.
There's a lot more people listening than watching, but yeah, go on YouTube.
But I'm saying go on a place where you can leave a comment. Especially ladies. Ladies, bring us your algorithm.
Yeah, bring us the algorithm. Get these angry men out of our YouTube channel.
Polite, and don't be mean to them. Don't instigate.
No, you can be
polite.
mean to them.
But politely tell them that this is not the space for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, society's fucked. We're working on it. Let us know if there's anything you want us to talk about in the comments. I'm reading the comments. There's hundreds and hundreds.
All the comments.
I'm reading them. I'm responding.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
But anyway, society's fucked. Thank you guys for listening. And we will catch you next time.